All right, let's see how this goes. We are going to replace, so this is my old Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. And everything works great on it except for these back here. The USB-C port hasn't worked in a very long time. And the audio jack really sucks. Like, the cords don't stay in it, and I've got a, only some of them will actually work right, so that's kind of janky. So I got this off of, I think, Amazon for pretty cheap, and that should replace the board with the USB-C. And then on eBay I've gotten this audio jack, and that should, go right in there, I believe. So I've not done this repair before, but I've certainly opened these up to replace batteries and such. And the thing that you need is your hot air gun and some little spudger tool things. These I think are the most useful for getting the back case off. And you can see there's a crack here, either from a fall or from prying it open in the past. So hopefully it doesn't break apart on me. We'll see how that goes. But you really got to warm up this glue all around to get this case off. Little suction cup. A lot of the kits that you buy out there for something like a battery will have most all of this stuff. And then there's tons of screws in there, and a really good screwdriver is going to help with that. And a nice pair of tweezers for getting those little connectors off as well. Just got to be real careful with everything. First thing, also to handle this thing, it's going to be really, really hot once we heat it up. And in fact, I should probably turn the phone off. The most annoying thing is that when working with it, you'll accidentally hit this button and turn the phone back on, and it'll happen like probably several times throughout this process. That's probably the most annoying part. But it heats up so much, and using a glove I'm just going to probably use to handle it as I then try and suction cup off the back piece here. So let's start with taking out the SIM card and the micro SD card that we've got in there. There it is. These tools are really handy, but if you got like a pin or something, it can do it as well. Alright, with that off, now we've just got to heat up all around real good with the heat gun. So I'm going to move these things out of the way for right now. And I'll probably put my glove on just to get ready so that everything's all set and ready to go. I always use the low setting on these. Yeah, there we go. Low setting, alright. Alright. So, let's see here. And we'll get the little suction cup. And I kind of look down here, see if we're getting it lifting off at all. I am not seeing it. Oh, you can see the little gap there starting. And if you're able to get one of these little spudgers in there, or whatever they're called, you can put that in and then start to work it around to break that glue. See that? I got the whole bottom side. Work it up the side here. I'm just trying to break that seal of the glue. So we got a bunch lifted up here. You can see that. But since we know this side is a little bit broken, I'm just going to heat it up a little bit more. I think that's a shot and see if maybe that's enough. There we go. So we're going to lift up again. I see that a lot of that separation is still there from what we did, and we're going to try and work it around a little bit further. My big hand's in the way here. All right, and I can actually see it splitting up here too. That glue can be pretty strong. You can see the thumbprint scanner actually popped right out of there, right out of the case. Boy, see how that, there we go. There we go, we got it. So the thumbprint scanner stayed right in. Sometimes they can stick in there and you'll have to just be careful. You can see the ribbon right here and it comes right out of that connector. So, all right, we'll set that aside. Nice. And I don't think I even turned it on. Oh, that's a first. Okay, so we're getting lucky. I think I can get my glove off now. So down here is what we're after. But to get to that, I think these are typically in like 3 pieces. There's a piece of plastic up here, there's a piece of plastic here, and I think there's a piece of plastic here. So we'll have to take all 3 pieces off. There's tons of little screws. So at this point, we're just going to go around and do all that. If you want, we can take this thumbprint scanner out so it doesn't get in our way. And to do that, you just grab your tweezers and it'll just pop up just like that. Come here, little guy. And there we go. Thumbprint scanner is out of the way, and we won't have to worry about that. I'm not sure if this comes out. Let's take a look and see if this pries right up. It might come off. Now that we just have it attached to this top part, I'm sure it'll all come out with this top part. So let's work on these screws here. Good. Okay, there we go. Nice. They usually don't come out that easy. I've got 2 still in there. I'll just kind of set this aside and be gentle with it. All right, cool. Once you get that exposed, it's probably a good idea to unplug the battery at this point. And so this is it right there. We've got it right unplugged. And now we can proceed with the rest of the dismantling. Let's see some of the glue on here. There we go. This should be the other piece. And that'll come out just like that. Okay. Working our way down. This is going to be the last section. I don't do a whole lot. All right. This last piece here, I believe, will come out now. There we go. There it is. Set that aside. Okay, like I said, if we look at the board that we've got here, that's what we're after. And the one tricky thing is, I believe this connector here hooks underneath this board. So you can see, I don't know if I can make that look okay. But you can see that it's just one of those, I forget what they call it, like a radio or satellite, connector that'll push in. So it's pretty impossible to get that out as it is, and this also pushes in as well. Maybe that loops over. Maybe that's here. Yep, there's the plus sign. Oh, okay, that one loops up top. This is the one that pushes in from underneath. Okay, so we are going to have to take this board out in order to be able to get underneath to get to this ribbon. So that's the unfortunate part, is that everything has to come out for that. So let's see if there are any other pieces here. There's a lot of little connectors. These are probably for the screen that we're going to have to unhook. Or these are probably maybe the side buttons or something. I think the screen might be the other side if I remember right. So here's the screen. Looks like we got this little guy up here, and there we go. That's our camera. Okay. And let's see, what else do we have to unhook? I believe this is the screen, if I remember right. Let's see if I can unhook this. Gosh, that's really in there, isn't it? There we go. There's the screen, at least what I think is the screen. And then we've got these two little connectors here, and they all hook to the board that we're replacing. So we can disconnect those. We'll just have to kind of keep in mind where they go. We've got white on top and blue on bottom, and it looks like they route into this little channel and come around. Okay, and so blue closest to blue on the inside, white on top, white to the right on the outside. Okay, so we'll pop those. Those will just pop right off, just like that. And let's get this white one here. We'll pop. Come. The whole board wants to come up. Hold it down. There we go. Off just like that. And then our little ribbon here. There we go. There's that ribbon right there. All right, and let's take a peek and see if there's anything else that's holding this circuit board down. I got something up here. This is more these sensors or whatnot. There we go. That's another. Oh, this must be the camera. The other one, maybe they're both cameras. I don't know. Just kind of set them up here so that we know the orientation if they go back in. And anything else that we see that's holding this thing down? That I am not sure. There's a screw here, and there's a screw here. So let's give that a shot. All right, and if we look at, those are definitely shorter screws. So I'm going to put them over here. There we go. And let's take a peek and see if we see anything else that could potentially hold this thing down. I do not believe so. So we're going to get our little spudger tool and see if we can pry this circuit board out. Looks like it's coming out. Just like that. Okay. I think the only thing that's holding it in here is going to be this ribbon. We have to be careful of all of these. Just be very gentle as you're prying this out. That we don't get hung up on one of these ribbons and rip it out of there. So you'll feel it getting stuck. You'll feel it kind of getting hung up on one of the cords that maybe is stuck in there, and then just figure out where it is and just kind of wiggle it free, and then we've got our board out. Okay. All right, and that connector had popped out on us perfectly, just like we would want. So now we need to get to what we're after. So down here, I believe this is the microphone chip, and I believe this is your audio port. So this audio port, you can see it comes over here and hooks in there. So we should be able to pop that right out of there, just like that. And I believe that may come out along with everything else, or it may come out on its own right now. Okay, we'll just kind of leave it for right now, and let's start taking out. Oh, is there another? Nope. Okay, it's all loose in there. All right, let's try and get these screws out of here. So I can see that we've got a bunch of these. So more screws. That's right here. Yeah, as I look at the new one, you see there's a hole there for the screw to hold it in. So definitely we got to take this out before we can get that audio jack out of there. Now the audio jack, I think, will come out. Yeah, might need a little bit of coaxing. And I bet this glue from the edges is probably holding it in there as well. Maybe we'll work with a board and see what we can do. Okay, we've got a couple more of these little screws here. These ones are around the USB-C port. Okay. And I'm not sure that I see anything else that would prohibit this from coming out. It's just very good to note all of how everything's oriented in here. We can see this side ribbon kind of comes up, bends sideways along the side, and then folds over. So it's really good to see that. And you can see a transition here from the upper piece, to the lower piece. So, all good things to kind of keep in mind and look at. All right, let's start to see if we'll ease this out, and maybe that audio jack comes out kind of with it. I'm not sure. Let's see how this is kind of wedged in here, and if it's glue or what. Maybe that. Okay, it's coming out, it's freeing. Yeah, I think it's kind of that glue from the side there. There we go. Okay, there's that. I'm wondering if I should probably take these cords out because they're in kind of a little plastic channel that I don't think are a part of the board, and that could be holding it in. And as I look at this, I can see there's little tiny clamps for it as like a guide. And you can see they're on the new board, so we'll have to take them out and clamp them in the new ones. And there's, looks like 4 of them. There's 2 little ones here, and then there's 2 little ones here. So let's pull them gently out. All right, there's the blue one. Just gently tug on this. There we go. And there's the white one. Good. All right. Now it's going to be very interesting to see how these kind of come out of their seated homes here in this part of the case. I'm thinking if I can lift up on the back sides here, and then maybe they can just sort of kind of get pulled out from there. We'll see how that works. Boy, that is really snug. There we go. Yeah, you can feel all that glue in there, but it's definitely freeing up. Okay, that one's freed up. Now we just need this last little board back here. I'm trying to kind of get behind it and maybe twist this little spudger a little bit. I feel like that audio jack should come out. And maybe if I push this glue aside, I can maybe get to it a little bit. Not sure if I reference this and I can see how far in it is. Looks like it's about there. Okay, I'm definitely rocking it a little bit. There it goes. Perfect. Nice. All right, so I'm gonna set this aside over here. That's my bad one. And though it's pretty obvious, I think, because that little prong here, obviously it's very dusty, but you can maybe see how prominent the new one is. I don't know, they look similar, but one's definitely worse than the other. Okay. Oh good, the whole thing I think is starting to really come out now. Ah, we did it. Okay, good. There it is. Yeah, this USB-C port, it started to just like, I'd have to put the cord in like sideways and see if I could, sometimes like forcing it in would make a good connection. I don't know where it's maybe not grounded right or something, or maybe these connectors on the inside are shot. But it definitely just failed, and then gone. So yeah, but that's that. All right, time to reverse the process. Let's see if we can get the new stuff in and seated without too much of a problem here. I'll put our bad one aside. Okay, here's our new board. Let's see if I can gently slide all this stuff in. Okay. I just wonder. Like, should this angle in a certain way? Because we've got this plastic lip here. There we go. See if we tip it in there, looks like it seats in much better, just like that. And just a little bit of pressure gets it seated exactly where it needs to be. That's good. And then the only thing is this little guy here. This ribbon goes sideways. Wow, it looks like it just kind of like falls in place, just like that. Seems like there's a little bulge in the side. Yep, that's like a little bulgy clip that it needs to seat under. So that's perfect right there. Okay, and then this is in place, and there's a little screw hole that it lines up with. That looks nice. And there's our microphone. We got that in place. Perfect. Looks really good. I'd imagine at this point, let's get the new audio jack in. I don't know if there's a problem leaving these stickers on, so I'll just leave mine on. I want to see if I can get that underneath this glue. There it is. Good. I think we'll know if we're lined up good if that presses in nicely to the connector, and it does. Very nice. Okay, so it doesn't move on me. Let's get that little guy. That screw for that little guy. Whoa! Whoa! That's gonna be a problem. Hold one moment. Would you believe me if I told you I found it? I don't know if I'd believe me. But yeah, I looked around on the floor. There it was. Let's try not to do that again. These things are real. Oh. Hang on 1 second. Let's try and get these ribbons. Imagining the blue one was on top because I think the white one came out last, if I recall. So, well, it did come out last because it's over here. I don't know if that meant that it was on top or on bottom. So let's work this blue one in. There it goes. There we go. Perfectly seated now. All right, you're up. So I think we're definitely fully seated there. Okay, looks good. All right, before I move to anything else here, I think what we need to do is get this other circuit board in and get that bottom ribbon installed. And we got to kind of do a bunch of things at once. So the tricky part is just making sure that it stays connected. I think I did this one other time on something similar, and that was absolutely the tricky part, is you know, getting that little connector on that ribbon and ensuring that they stay connected. So I don't know if there's a guide here or anything. I'm wondering if I can lift this up and then I can get it connected and then I can lay it down. There we go. There's a little glue piece just keeps. Of course, now there's a little glue piece in there. There we go. Okay, we are definitely connected here. Just want to look at both sides and make sure that both sides appear to have a good solid connection. I believe they are. And we'll find out if we start it up and we got nothing. So now I want to just gently lay this in here. Move these little guys. There. Okay. Now I want to make sure that I don't have any obstructions as I lay this in, and we've got a lot of them. We've got this ribbon here. There we go. There's one. Okay, we've got the battery ribbon. Might be our next one. Let's see if I can pull that up. Come on. There we go. We've got this ribbon to the side. This doesn't look too bad. And then what do we got up top? Do we have anything up top? I don't believe so. We got all those out of the way. So it was just this one, and I know that likes to hang up there. And in we go. I think we're in there. Okay. I can feel it resting where it needs to be, where it's happy. Okay. Whew. Nice. Now we can put all these things in here. Feel seated now. We'll do the power one last, as we're futzing around with all of these ribbons. Okay, here's the screen ribbon here. Might as well do these. We got that one. I think that's on there good. Okay, now we got these two. Might as well do this blue one first. Let's make sure that we've got enough distance on it, and I believe we do. Heard that little click. That mounted in there. Wow, I like that. And now let's go for this white one. Oh boy, look at that. You can see that this circuit board has a little window where this cord is supposed to come out of. You see that? The blue one's in there all right. I'm so afraid to try to squeeze. I wonder if I can move this over and kind of push it in. Or the other option is I just don't put it in there. Because I don't want to disturb that ribbon underneath. All right, let's get our little connectors up here. We had this one that went in. Perfect. That was easy. And we got this one here. There we go. Not bad. All right, let's put the rest of our screws in, and then we'll do the power and see how lucky we got. If I remember right, we had to take this off in order to get to the battery connectors, so we might as well hook our battery up now. If I was smart, I would just test out the phone at this point and see if everything works right. You know, I could plug in the USB port. I believe we should get a charging screen if we fix that, right? Wouldn't we get that right away? Hey, look at that. This is the first time I've seen that USB charger working forever. That's incredible. And you know, I think I've got an audio cord over here somewhere. I think this one will work. Boy, the other one, it wouldn't stay in. It wouldn't stay connected. Okay, so we know that one works. I'm going to take that out. And let's feel. Oh, it clicks in and it doesn't come out. I'm thinking that's going to work just perfectly for me. The other one wouldn't even stay in. It would just kind of just keep slipping right out. All right, let's continue on. All right, let's get our thumbprint scanner here. See how that kind of just sticks in there just like so. All right, that looks good. Nice. All right, now our case is no worse for wear. We still got that split from whatever. And put this on. I like to heat it back up again to melt the glue, and then just make sure it's nice and squeezed, and then we're pretty much all set. So let's do that real quick. I mean, it takes a lot to melt that glue. You'll know that when you're trying to take these things apart. So I always think, you know, you definitely want to heat that up quite a while to get that glue, you know, liquefied again so that it will do its job. And I've had this phone for a long time. I guess I'll plan on having it for a bit longer, and if this all works out, the next videos will probably be taken on this phone. I'm recording on my son's S9 Plus right now, so you know, seems to do a pretty good job. And hey, if it's you know, these parts are so dirt cheap. You know, I think I was like, what, $8 for the audio jack, and like, I don't know, $14 for the whole circuit board with the USB port on it. So that beats a new phone if you don't need anything more than just that. I love the fact that you get the ability to put a micro SD card in for extra expansion storage, and having the audio jack is really good too. So, you know, that's all reasons why I just try to keep my old stuff. I like old stuff. And it's fun. It's fun to fix these things up and work on them. And all right, I'll probably let it cool down for a bit, but I think we've already confirmed that, you know, the repair works, the USB charging port works, It's holding the audio jack. We'll definitely test that out and make sure that it's working like it should. And maybe my microphone works a little bit better. It was a little hard for people to hear before, but that would be a nice bonus as well if that works too. So cool. And till next time, we'll work on something else. Bye.